Good afternoon. Welcome to CityCast. In this edition, we continue to bring you story from across the country. This is Prishita Marvanya.
And I am Pooja Rajkumari. Here are top stories. Fashion masks are not safe against COVID 19. Excessive use of hand sanitizers can have side effects.
Fashion marks have become the style statement, but are they COVID effective? Our reporter, Shinjita Mitra, will tell us more about this.
Consumers opt for designer face masks even though they might not always be effective against COVID 19. These masks have become more of a style statement than a safety measure. Customers say that they like to match face masks with outfits.
One reason because it is cheap and also because it is more comfortable.
These masks have different designs ranging from one's favorite cartoons to traditional Indian block prints. According to the local mask manufacturers, an average of 60% of people are buying designer face masks over N95.
ये भी N95 के मास्क से ज़्यादा बिकता है और 90% अभी यही बिकता है.
The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare guidelines says masks should have 3 layers and should be made from cotton. Doctors say that most fashion masks are made from hosiery or t-shirt fabric. This fabric is stretchable. The size of the COVID-19 virus is 50 to 200 nanometer. Thus, it can easily pass through a stretchable material like hosiery. Doctors say that the government needs to do more as consumers cannot always afford masks with the ISI mark.
Why not have an agency which will rate the various types of masks that are available in the market so that the customer can make an informed decision based on the rating?
While these designer face masks might look more fashionable, customers should check whether these masks are adhering to the guidelines. This is Sanchita Mitra for CityCast.
While masks may be becoming a fashion accessory, the ongoing pandemic has made sanitizers a necessity. Our reporter Puran Chaudhary talks to the experts on the use of sanitizers during COVID 19.
The sale of sanitizers has seen a surge of about 10 folds over the last couple of months. Doctors and microbiology experts say such excessive usage can cause side effects and increase antimicrobial resistance. This means that one's body will become immune to the chemicals of sanitizer and fail at killing germs.
Scaly skin, irritation, itchiness, peeling off of the skin, which again came in, and it's not like moisturizing the skin helped.
Doctors who see patients with such complaints on a regular basis say it is a result of paranoia revolving around the virus.
That the fear of COVID-19 was so strong that the only thing that could avoid the fear at that point of time was sanitizers.
Health experts from AIMS estimate that by 2050, about 10 million human lives could be at risk if drug resistance is not managed.
There are some good bacteria, there are some bad bacteria. So the sanitizers cannot really differentiate between the two. So in the bargain, what is happening, the microsomes, which is the good bacteria of our hands and things like that, are also getting affected.
Skin experts suggest alternatives for alcohol-based sanitizers.
They can switch to the alcohol-free based sanitizers, right? Those who have allergies with the soap detergent, they can avoid it. Otherwise, soaps and water is the best way. This is the first line of defense.
Sanitizers have been a savior during the pandemic. However, anything in excess can be harmful. Experts recommend frequent use of soap and water to kill germs rather than alcohol-based sanitizers. This is reporter Puran Chaudhary for CityCast.
The Falgu River in Gaya is polluted. Our reporter Amna Karimi tells us about the impact this has on the residents who use the water.
As the level of pollution in Falgu River is increasing, residents of Gaya are worried about the quality of drinking water that comes from the river.
We are not getting clean water since Falgu Nadi is polluted. The government should watch clearly to see what's happening on ground since people are affected.
Bihar State Pollution Control Board says garbage and drainage that flows into the river are two main sources of pollution.
ये वेस्ट फेंकना बंद कर दिया गया. कोई वेस्ट फल्गु सॉलिड वेस्ट फल्गु में नहीं जाता. मुख्य न्यायाधीश के द्वारा इस पर जब आदेश आ जाएगा तो हम लोग के द्वारा इस कार्य को शुरू कर दिया जाएगा. एसटीपी निर्माण करने का कार्य उनके द्वारा जो भी डायरेक्शन आएगा उस पर हम लोग काम करेंगे.
The estimated budget of the sewage treatment plant is 370 crore.
म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस को चाहिए कि जनरली जो भी सॉलिड वेस्ट जो डायरेक्ट डंप हो रहा है उसे रोकना चाहिए. एक सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट गवर्नमेंट को सेटअप चाहिए.
Municipal Corporation and Gayaites are waiting for the sewage treatment plant in the city. All eyes are on High Court since it is yet to decide the fate of Falgu. This is Amna Karimi reporting for the CityCast.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back from the break. A report by the International Institute of Population Science finds many women are not aware of the consequences of having hysterectomy. Our reporter Preshita Marvania tells us more.
11 per 100 women has gone under hysterectomy as a permanent solution for vaginal problem, making it as the second most frequently performed surgery on women. Research conducted by BMC Women's Health among 3,16,314 married women, one-third had undergone hysterectomy before the age of 40.
मेडिकेशन बहुत लेते नहीं जाते टैबलेट्स वगैरह कि मुझे रखना ही नहीं है तो फिर हम उसमें करके देते हैं ज़्यादा इंसिस्ट करें यानी कि
The first ever survey conducted on hysterectomy was in 2015-16 by the National Family Health Survey. This research showed before 1997, only 43% of hysterectomy surgeries were performed, but by the end of 2016, the number rose up to 74%.
માસિક વધુ આવતા ઇન્ફેક્શન લાગતું ને એટલે મેં કોઈ લીધું હવે મને થોડી થોડી નબળાઈ અને થાક લાગે એમ કમર થોડી દુખે છે મને એકવાર
The International Institute of Population and Science conducted a survey in 2020 finds that the women are not informed about the long-term consequences of this surgery.
हम लोग पेशेंट को तो समझाते ही हैं मगर पेशेंट इतना फोर्स करते हैं और मगर पेशेंट क्या एक डॉक्टर को छोड़ के दूसरे डॉक्टर के पास प्राइवेट है कि नहीं नहीं ये प्रॉब्लम है तो चलो हिस्टेक्टोमी करवा लो ये सॉल्यूशन हो जाएगा उनका काउंसलिंग ठीक से नहीं होता तो पेशेंट को पोस्ट हिस्टेक्टोमी क्या कॉम्प्लिकेशन है वो तो समझ में आता ही नहीं है.
Educating women on post-surgery complication becomes an important task with the increase in number of hysterectomy. This is Prishita Marvania signing off from CityCast.
Women's health is affected by more than gynecological problems. They seem to have an acute shortage of time to take care of themselves. Our reporter Shreya Asopa tells us more about time poverty and its impact.
Time poverty impact Indian women's health and workforce participation. It creates gender gap in terms of income, health and leisure. Sharda Rani says she left her job as a teacher due to exertion from work and household chores.
जॉबचं पण एक्झर्शन होत होतं आणि घरचं पण सांभाळलं नाही जात होतं. डॉक्टरांकडे मी गेली की माझं तब्येत का खराब होते तर मग डॉक्टर बोलले की स्ट्रेस होतो.
Physician says the time spent by women on unpaid domestic work affect their mental and physical health.
We come across a lot of cases where people come with various symptoms due to stress, especially women. Of course, it depends on a lot of factors, like the amount of physical activity required to do a certain household activity.
The Time Use survey reveals women spend around 5 hours a day doing unpaid work, whereas men spend only 1.5 hours.
घर में काम करती है वो महिला का भी मान सम्मान होना चाहिए और उनको भी कुछ पॉलिसी सरकार ने देना.
The NSSO data states engagement of rural women in paid work constitutes only 15% compared to 76% in rural men. The Economist says unless we don't convert qualitative household work into quantitative, it won't be recognized in GDP.
The IMF, a broad percent calculation. If this household is counted in the GDP, but our GDP would go up to the 27%. To recognize the contribution of household women, which are so far have not been recognized here, that government should set up a committee to look. Is it possible for us same methodology can be utilized in India?
The survey calls in for recognition of domestic work done by women. This is Shreya Sopa reporting for CityCast.
Real estate business in Guwahati is going through tough time post-lockdown. Our reporter Pooja Rajkumari tells us more about it.
Real estate agents in Guwahati are finding it hard to get clients even after the lockdown period. The uncertainty and financial difficulties during the pandemic make people hesitant to deal with real estate. Some realtors say that the number of clients has reduced to almost by 30 to 40% and in 2019.
বৰ্তমান কাস্টমাৰ অহাই নাই আপোনাৰ এতিয়া কি হৈছে মানুহবিলাকে তাৰমানে বাৰ্গেনিঙত আহি গৈছে আৰু
Although the number of deals has increased in the housing sector, there is hardly any demand for retail, hospitality or commercial properties.
Office rentals have stabilized, but new work has not started as such. Retail as in showroom spaces, it is still affected. There's not much new work happening.
The realtors also say clients have mostly relied on online platforms to finalize the deals and check the work progress during the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic, we decided to buy a flat. It was difficult of finalizing the flat because it was difficult to supervise the construction. Projects were getting delayed.
The Guwahati Realtors Association feels that the situation can improve if the government steps in with reforms. This will make the process of buying, selling and renting of real estate easier, especially during the pandemic.
The government has also asked the GMDA to relax in bylaws for residentials and commercials also. If the builders or developers can get less interest in financial help from the government or from the banks, then it will be a great help.
Clients also feel that now the realtors can dupe them as they cannot physically go and inspect the properties before finalizing.
This lack of faith is making it harder for the realtors to come back to business. This is Pooja Rajkumari reporting for CityCast.
Stay with us. On the other side of the break, we will bring you more business stories.
Welcome back from the break. Many people are turning to social media to kickstart their business. Our reporter Ghata Sarvaiya tells us why.
Nancy Vachita, who started her business of handmade crafts and gifting items via social media, stays overnight to complete orders which are to be delivered on the same day. She started this as a hobby, but now it has become a source of income.
Initially, my business was not in so much demand, but after 4 years, gradually, as it increased, now I can say that it's pretty successful.
Many housewives have also started setting up their own business on social media by selling homemade products such as cakes, chocolates, and other food items in order to earn income.
People of our generation uses Instagram to know the trends by messaging directly to the seller. So I thought to start the business on the Instagram.
Prior experience or professional license is not required to set up a business on social media. Consumers prefer buying from social media platforms rather than from local stores.
Give my suggestions and feedback and ask for customization.
Experts say that social media is good for marketing.
There are high risk factors. You want that your product should survive for a longer period of time. Then yes, this can help them.
Thus, social media startups can be effective if you are willing to invest your efforts for a long time. Hereby signing off, this is Ghata Sarvaiya for CityCast.
Uttar Pradesh Provincial Civil Service Examination records the lowest percentage of attendance. Our reporter Surya Tripathi tells us why this is so.
This year, in the exams held in October, 6% fewer applicants took the written exam for 200 vacancies. Only 53% of candidates appeared for the examination from 6 lakh applicants. Last year, the number stood at 59%.
I didn't attempt this year's UPPSC. One of the factors was because of COVID. My family feared what if the proper arrangements are not made and I might contract virus. I have lost this year's and I have prepared myself again for the next attempt.
SOPs that were given include carrying masks, maintaining social distance, doing thermal checkups, sanitizers at entry points.
I attempted this year UPPCS. There were arrangements of sanitizer at the entry point, but no social distancing norms are followed after the dispersal of candidates.
Principal of the ALY Manpuri Inter College, where the exam took place, has said that all arrangements were made as per COVID-19 guidelines issued by the government. UPPSC Lucknow officials said that the situation might be because of coronavirus and it might improve in the next examination. Students are gearing up for the next year's UPPCS exam, which is scheduled in August. This is Surya Tripathi signing off for CityCast.
Yes, ma'am. Moving on to Pittorgarh. The coaching business are not doing well. Our reporter Kanishka Kohli tells us more about the challenges faced by this sector.
Coaching center businesses are facing hard time to survive as students are not attending physical classes.
कोचिंग स्टूडेंट कह रहे हैं ना आप बहुत कम हो चुका है बच्चा लगभग 50% को पूरा लॉस हो चुका है इसमें जो पहले की स्ट्रेंथ थी और जो अभी की स्ट्रेंथ थी उसमें 50% हो चुकी है.
With this ongoing crisis, coaching centers are not able to pay their teaching staff for more than 8 months.
तो उसके बाद मैं अपने गांव चला गया. हमें जाते हैं वहाँ मेरे पिताजी पेंशन होल्डर हैं तो उनके साथ मैंने रह के 7-8 महीने वहीं रहा मैं.
The students have now shifted to online mode and feel less need to attend physical classes.
Going to coaching center is very unsafe, and moreover I prefer online classes and YouTube videos for theoretical subject.
Experts says coaching centers now have more opportunities than ever if they switch to online mode.
इस पर काम किया जाए, एक्टिव प्लान बनाया जाए और एक्सपेरिमेंटल लर्निंग पर काम किया जाए तो ये जो तरीका है ये बहुत अधिक अच्छा है.
There are already some teachers who shifted to online platform. This can be implemented by others in order to survive this business crisis. This is Kanishka Kohli for CityCast.
That is all we have for you today. Thank you for watching.
Do log into www.citycast.in, our online publication, for more stories.
है।